Now what I like about the paint pens is, as I've said in the past, the paint pens are nice and easy to write with. Now one thing I very much like about them, and I think I'll be using, yeah, most likely this end. I don't like that the most. And I'll try to use where the foot switch is going to be. But you can see here, I can draw, you know, a dot. I can put this circle around it of where the foot switch is going to be. So I've got some paint on there. If I don't like it, I mean literally, I can wipe it off. So it's easy to erase. There doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't leave anything behind. In fact, it looks like it's a little smoother because I really need to paint this. It's got a bunch of stuff, or clean it. It's got a bunch of stuff on it. If I left it there and let it dry, and I'm going to do that again, and then we'll come back after 10 or 15 minutes, you can wipe over it, but you can now scratch it off, which I use for when I'm doing around the edges, because you have the edges that you're doing, you know, and you want to see what's going on. After a little bit of time, you want that to kind of straighten out. You want that to look nice. You know, I'm going to do a curve across here, and we're going to color all this in. And it's hard when you're here at the edge as to exactly how am I going to color that and get it to look nice going around that edge. And what I do is I let the paint set up, let it dry over time, and then I literally scratch it off with my fingernails. It's why I leave my thumbs a little long and dirty. Well, dirty because I've been doing a bunch of work here. Long because I want them to be able to work on the paints to get the stuff off. I typically just simply wash this with soap and water beforehand. I did an entire pedal. My Duophase, I painted the entire thing up with the knobs on it. I was like, let me see if I can do this. I didn't like the way it came out, so I just took it over to the sink. This is after everything dried. Warm soap and, you know, warm water and soap with one of my, I have sponges just for cleaning things that aren't food-based. But warm soap and water, yeah, it's already starting to dry a little, but you can even see, you can just wipe along the edge to get straighter lines out of it. And wash the whole pedal off, and it came completely clean, so I could try again to see what I wanted to do. And this is nice. So the pedals with shinier finishes are easier. I found the matte finishes sometimes leave a little bit of darkened smear in them. A lot of times, you know, I'm doing this and I've already got most of what I like, but say I just don't like the top part of the tower, I messed it up, it's too fat or something, I'll just wipe that off or scratch that whole part off. So with one that's a matte finish, sometimes there's stuff in there and I'm not going to be able to actually take the matte finish over to the sink with some soap and water and clean it off, because I might mess up other things that I actually like. So it makes it a little bit harder. This is one of the pedals that I didn't, you know, do a good job of cleaning. Really let the stuff smear, and this is, I think this is the first pedal I ever actually tried to paint something on. The other things I was actually doing drawings, but this is literally the first painted pedal I did. I think this is number 3, or number 4, because the first 2 I didn't actually put anything on. I thought, okay, this is nice and easy. I think I can scribble on, you know, the Union Jack, you know, for the plexi. And the first one I liked better. And I kept messing it up. I kept doing too much. I wasn't paying attention, so I was trying to go over it again. And when you go over it again after it's dried, you get this purling and this little stuff coming up. You can see I did get to scratch along the edge, but it wasn't clean. Had to go over it again in white to cover up some of it. Up here, it didn't cover up well. Tried to use the markers, which is a nightmare. Markers as in ooh, why can't I remember what they're called? Right here. Sharpies. I lose words all the time. Sharpies, and it just kind of makes a mess. So we're about to 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to go. When this is dry, I'll be back and we'll take care of what we have to do. All right, let's get back with our demonstration. I think the paint is dry now. So as I said, when you're looking at this, you can see I can rub my fingers over it, nothing happens. I can even rub kind of hard, nothing happens. But as I was telling you, what you can do is you can use your fingernail and you can run it along that edge, and you can see it kind of gives me a nice clean line to work with. It comes right off. So you can do your whole painting, let it dry, and then go through and do your stuff. So that's what I'm going to end up doing with the earth part of the painting here. I'll end up painting it up to the edges, and then I'll just kind of scratch and try to stay at an even spot going all the way around to kind of get it off. Also, like I said, if a whole part doesn't work out, you can do like this and kind of scratch it to get the pieces off. But soap and water, maybe I can just do it with a little spit, but you can see just licking my finger and rubbing, it starts to come off. And if I get a paper towel, do I have one over here? Of course I don't. I'm unprepared. Give me 1 second. This is the sponge I like to use, and as you can see, I can just kind of go in there, and this is just water. This doesn't even have any soap in it. But we can clean up the entire, I only wet the corner, but we can clean up the whole thing. Our whole petal now goes clean, back to its original. This isn't going to scar up the surface at all. Just going to clean it off, go over it and dry it. And look at that. We got a nice clean surface to work with now. Got all the crap off of it. I don't think that's cleanable. I think that's actually marring of the surface itself. So there.